you, Tony. Thank you, Neil. It is afternoons. I'm Tony Moclair. Great to have your company. 133693. That is the phone number. If you'd like to email us, afternoons@3w.com.au is a great way to go as well. Well, we are approaching the summer festival season. If you're like me and you've got a teenager who's moving towards that age where an idiot mate is going to hand him something in a closed fist that's blue and small and or some other colour and with the promise that it's going to make him feel great. I'm talking pills. I'm talking music festivals. We know the two go together. Therefore, the calls about pill testing have surged again. I'm very keen to get your thoughts on it. Is it time for the state government to introduce pill testing services in Victoria? Now, there's debate about the what's in MDMA pills, showing my age there, ecstasy and those sorts of things. They are very common in Australia. Sadly, we are one of the biggest drug markets in the world, and that is, as lamentable as it is a fact. If you're somebody who's taken MDMA at a music festival, I want to hear from you. You don't have to use a real name. Just tell us what the scene is, how dangerous it is, or how not dangerous it is in your experience. 133693. If you're a health worker, a paramedic, a nurse or a doctor, what is your opinion of pill testing? You go to a festival or a rave, there are medical professionals there. They have a look at what you're about to take and deem it either safe or not. What, of course, you are about to do is illegal. We know that. However, this is the position we find ourselves in. Last year in March, a 26-year-old man consumed a blue pill with dangerously high concentrations of MDMA at the Carnival Music Festival in Flemington. He was taken to the Royal Melbourne Hospital with multi-organ failure, brain swelling, and he died 4 days later. His death prompted the Victorian coroner, Judge John Cain, to call for the introduction of pill testing. And today, a number of health groups are meeting at State Parliament. On the line now, Paul Healey, the State Secretary of the Health and Community Services Union and a former mental health nurse. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Tony.
Paul, the average person obviously has debated the merits of this topic. Everyone will have an opinion as to the merits and or otherwise of it. Your take on it as somebody in the health industry and a father of teenagers.
Yeah, that's right. And I've got 18 of my nieces and nephews that range between 18 and 32. So they're in the zone.
Yep.
Look, I don't encourage people to take pills at all. I don't think you should. But what I don't want is I don't want any deaths. And we've seen, even in last October, there's 2 deaths in New South Wales. So my view is that we can't prevent it. We've never been able to prevent people taking it. We've tried the war on drugs. It's not successful. But what we are saying is if people are going to do something that we don't agree with, at least we can make it safe. It's like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Yep. They're just taking tablets. They get these tablets. They don't know the strength, the quantity, or how strong they are. They don't know what's in it. And so every time they take one of these tablets, they're taking a risk. It's a roulette with their own lives and their own well-being, and also the stress and trauma to their family. So what pill testing actually does is actually test what's in there, and then they can inform the people that this is either, it's too much in there, only take half a tablet. We recommend you don't take it, but if you're set on taking it, only take half, because if you take a full tablet, you'll overdose. What it is stopping people doing taking risks, and we don't want people to be injured to take risks, and that's where it comes in. There's a free trial being offered by Harm Reduction Australia. They've been working in Canberra, and they'll do a free trial, free indemnity for the festival, to try this with the Victorian government to say, let's get evidence-based, let's trial it, and let's see how we go.
Why would we not have a system where if the pill expert tests it, says, whoa, this is way too high in MDMA, this is going to hurt you, why does that person have then discretion to take it or not? I'm talking about the person who's bought the pill. Why does the health professional say, you're not going to take this, I'm going to put it in the bin? Do they have that power at the moment? And if not, why not?
Well, they don't at the moment. It's a voluntary thing, because you don't know whether they've got another one in their back pocket. So if you start taking it off them, you don't know how, you don't know that. So what you've got to do is, what it's about is educating and treating people, teaching people to harm minimisation and to take the least amount of risks. if you can't prevent it, the least amount of risk to them and their well-being, and then you won't be seeing those headlines in coroner's courts and things like that.
Okay, as always, we look further afield to see where this has been rolled out, and we have a look at the success or otherwise of the program. What can you point to?
Well, you can look across the world. You know, Portugal and all those places have had it. You look in America; they're doing a lot of drug law reform. But I just go straight to home Canberra. The ACTU's trial it. It seems to be very successful there. They've got fixed pill testing sites at festivals, and it's got evidence base and it's working. And it's saving lives, and that's the key to it. You know, young people will do silly things. Your brain doesn't fully develop till you're 25.
Yeah.
The last thing that develops is your impulse control, which is not very helpful. But people are going to do things. So if we can teach people, educate them, and also at the festivals there'll be drug and alcohol workers to give people education and support. And also maybe if they're going down a bad path, to actually help them say, these are the options for treatment if you want to change the way you're living. So there's options in education and development and training. I think there's more to it than just going out and having fun. It gives real opportunity to have proper conversations with people, because at the moment people are only getting their information off drug dealers who are in the business of making money, not welfare.
Yeah, well, we know that. 133693 if you'd like to weigh in on the merits of pill testing, or do you have the attitude that these are illegal? If you buy them, you're taking a roll of the dice and let the consequences be on you. I thought this was a very interesting quote from Jen Ross King, who is the mother of somebody who sadly passed away after taking a lethal pill. She says, when MPs tell me about pill testing giving the green light to drug use, I correct them and tell them it actually gives a red or amber light, because it asks people to pause and take time to discuss what they are about to do with qualified health professionals. That is a powerful argument, isn't it?
Yeah, currently it's chaos out there because the market's controlled by criminals,
yeah,
and they've got no investment in welfare, no investment in making sure people are out. All they want to do is make money. So if we can actually stop people, get them to think, give them the right information to say, this is a possible harm. If you take this, if you take a full one, you're going to be ill. If you take half of it, you're not going to be ill. And to be smart, check back in with them, make sure they've got hydration, do all the right things, keep people safe, and then work with people to say, yep, this is, let's move away from this.
Just last question I'll ask. Well, I have two more questions and we'll try to be quick here because we're about to get to calls on 133693. If a pill is handed over after having been tested and the raver or the young person dies, what legally, what exposure does that pill tester have?
To be honest, I don't know the answer to that one, but right. They've got indemnity insurance, so they would be covered. So that indemnity insurance would cover them.
Yeah.
They would take all steps, and they've got their own insurance coverage and equipment, so they'd make sure that absolutely they try their best. But also, we can't always stop people doing the wrong thing or not to follow good advice. But what we can do is just try and encourage them to follow good advice.
All right. And you mentioned impulse control, which is really at the heart of this. I mean, we, the age that you and I are, Paul, we can look back on this and say, why on earth would you do something this stupid? It is just crazy that you were doing this. A, it's illegal. B, you could do something really, really stupid, take something really dangerous. What do your nieces, nephews, kids, what is their justification for taking this stuff?
I think young people just like to have fun, and they think it's going to enhance their fun. They don't know that they're playing Russian roulette with their health, and they roll the dice. Young people, by nature, take risks, and what we've got to do as adults is trying to contain those risks as best as possible. If they're going to take risks, make sure they have a soft landing.
All right. Well said. Thank you for that, Paul. Paul Healey, State Secretary of the Health Community Services Union and former mental health nurse. 133693, very keen to get your thoughts on this. It is always it's one of those topics that everyone has an opinion on, and I'm keen to hear yours. Back shortly.